For all.
TJ in Trenton, New Jersey, Republican. Hi, TJ.
Hi, yeah, it's PJ. Good morning. Howdy.
Good morning.
Yeah, let your guest take a break for a minute. Let me talk for a moment. The way I see it, this is misplaced sympathy. I don't know whether the gentleman lives in a gated community, but I suspect he does. My hometown of Trenton is pretty much a black hole. We have gangs of black youth roaming the streets, breaking out windows, assaulting people. And I take exception to the gentleman saying that the genteel white woman in the country, the fear of being attacked by these hordes of blacks. Well, it is happening in every city across America. And by you generating sympathy like this, the police are going to be even more hands-off to them, and the cities are going to get even more unsafe. Yeah, they may have been not guilty of the sexual crime against the jogger, but I bet you those 5 black youths were out doing bad on the nights they were picked up. They had to be. They weren't completely.
PJ, why do you say that? Why do you say that you believe they were up to no good?
Well, because I was alive at the time of the incident, and I followed the story on the news quite well. They were admitted that they were in the park. They were probably throwing stones, breaking things. This is unsupervised black youth. There's a big problem with it all across the nation. They attack all groups, not only whites, but the Latrinos as well. And it's not
PJ,
being.
Are you white? What race are you?
I'm white. I'm white European. Okay. Family's been here 4 generations.
Let's get a response to Ken Burns and tap into these issues that he's bringing up.
No, it's very true, and I understand the fear that builds up of the other and crime, and when we use words like them and they, as the caller did, we fall into the assumptions that they are all the same. It's very interesting. At the same time, a white mob killed and drove a black man to his death in Howard Beach in New York City. And they didn't call them wilders, and they didn't call them a wolf pack or beast. The same thing happened in Bensonhurst. That doesn't happen in that way. These kids in our American justice system have to be convicted of the crimes they committed. The idea that the default position is, well, they must have been up to some no good. These kids were in fact from good families, had never been in trouble with the law before, hadn't had any sort of trouble, were in the park and watched some of these other lesser crimes and were kind of horrified themselves and sort of split from the park to get away from it. But the idea that we would, just because they are a part of some racial group, and let's remember African Americans were brought to this country as early as 1619, I think a little bit earlier than the 4 generations that you described your family coming from, unfortunately in slavery and in chains and not seeking freedom. That if we are going to say, well, they must have done something wrong, and that therefore all of them are up to no good, our crimes in our cities are actually going down in many places around the world. But that's not the American justice system. That may work in a Soviet justice system, it might work in a Chinese justice system, but it doesn't work in the United States of America, where you are presumed innocent until proven guilty, and that you are charged and do time for crimes that you actually commit. We just don't round up kids and say, because of the color of your skin, you must have done something. And the suggestion of that runs counter to one of the reasons why we founded this country and one of the reasons why your ancestors moved here.